welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Niall Frazier. And today we got a few things we need to talk about. But before we get started, could you please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe, man? Y'all already know. Recently crossed 500 subscribers. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's been tuning in and following me. If you just joined or if you've been here since the beginning, really do appreciate it. But let's talk about what we need to talk about today pertaining to the Philadelphia Eagles. If you ain't been nowhere near your phone or nowhere near the internet, the Eagles went out and acquired wide receiver Jahan Dotson from the Washington Commanders. If you don't know too much about him, I'm gonna give you a little rundown about my guy. He's a first round draft pick, right? I think it was like the 16th round, if I'm not mistaken. But let me just pull this up real quick. Very, very, very skillful player, skillful wide receiver, man. Got that dog in him. I can tell you that right now. Numbers were, and it's only been his second year because it was a 2022 draft where he was drafted in, and it's only been 2 years since he's been playing in the NFL. But if you know anything about the Commanders, the quarterback situation ain't the best situation down there. So numbers were good his rookie year, and then he kind of fell a little bit last year. But I know I was at the game where he tore us up, man. We ended up winning the game, but yeah, he was getting crazy on us. So. Howie must have seen that and was like, yeah, we got to get that young man. And then I remember Philly 500 even talking about Jahan Dotson being at Smitty's softball game up there in Allentown. So we call it, just doing our due diligence on players and stuff like that. So with that being said, man, adding him to this offense makes this offense even more lethal. Really doesn't create any excuses for Jalen Hurts. He came out in a recent interview saying that he feels 100% pretty good. But he did admit that he was banged up last year, which I can understand, man. They was sitting there running the tush push, whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. But all crazy, and that's the franchise quarterback. You don't want to damage the product. So yeah, man, but. It's just good to see, man, that Howie's going out here and he's taking every measure possible to try and get this team back to the Super Bowl, man. I know the defense last year, wasn't the best, wasn't good at all, to be honest with you. Vic Fangio alluded to that too when he was at a golf match recently or a few months ago during the summer and talked about how bad the defense was. But I think with him coming in here, some of the additions that we got in the draft, and I know I spoke about this before, but I think that these guys can do something, man. I think, when Vic comes out in these interviews and he says, something about Bryce Huff, about him, well, he's kind of right. He's kind of there, he's not all the way there yet. I think that's just a way to put the fuel to the fire in these guys. So they go out there and perform on the field. But I don't know if the starters do play tomorrow. I'm going to be watching the game. I don't know if I'm going to go live, but I'm gonna do my due diligence. I'm gonna see, who's doing what they need to be doing, who ain't doing what they need to be doing. But as of recent, like I know it's been a little bit since I made a video, but as of recent, a lot of the linebackers have been stepping up. But Nakobe Dean being the biggest. One of the questions that we had, or a lot of questions that we had, was never the talent, but is if he could stay healthy enough to be out there to show his talent. So as of recent, he's able to get out there. He's been making plays in practice. Which is good to see. Kind of can still rival Zach Bond, as I've been watching some of the preseason games. And I know he's learning the new defenses, like a lot of the guys are too. But I think still, like some of the stuff I was seeing, I'm like, I don't know about it. If he got it all there yet, but it take time. If you see it continuously throughout the season, then you kind of you got to have a cause for concern. So. With that being said, man, I do think Nakobe Dean can make a push for it. Jeremiah Trotter's another guy that's back there doing what he need to do. So it's some guys, man, that need to make still need to make some noise. So maybe they play in the preseason game tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know, but I think those two, like Jeremiah Trotter and Nakobe, do. But I think the defense for the most part probably will play because I've been seeing them play. So if you're probably not injured, you're probably gonna be out there on the field. So. With that being said, man, hopefully, like I said, Nakobe Dean can make that push. I really want to see some more from Jalix Hunt, man, really liking how he's been coming along with his development. I've been hearing good things about him, seeing good things in the preseason game. Like I said before, and I spoke about before on here, he was handpicked by Vic Fangio, and Vic Fangio really did see something in this young man, so hopefully he can go out there and do what he needs to do, get the sacks, dropping coverage. I think he's going to be a perfect player for this defense for Vic Fangio. But going back to I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but going back to the offensive side, and I think I spoke about this, but Nye Smith, just trying to see something from him, man, and I think that's why they go out here and they go get or they go make that push to go get a Jahan Dotson, because it's like you're expecting to see something from him, but then also the injuries that we've sustained in the wide receiver, the 3 area. Also, Jahan Dotson can play on the outside too. I think if you need him, the playoffs last year we only had Smitty. Shout out to Quez, but Quez didn't step up like we needed him to. No disrespect to him, but he didn't do what we needed him to do. So you got to go out here and go get some young dogs, some hungry dogs, and that's what Howie's been doing. So and that was a weakness in the Super Bowl too. I don't know when we were there. I remember that wide open, like Quez would have had a touchdown if he'd have caught that pass, but neither here nor there. Ain't gonna get, ain't gonna harp on that. But it just makes this offense way more lethal, man. Like Smitty, like Smitty, and like I was watching the podcast, and I think I said it on here before, but like Smitty and DV was having a podcast, and he was talking about what teams have 11 defenders that can guard all 11 of our players or all of our offensive weapons, including Jalen Hurts. It's not a team out there that can do that. So with that being said, it's like who somebody for at least for us, somebody should always be open, honestly, because Dotson, he's going to be getting guarded by a safety or a linebacker, and he's too quick and shifty to you know what I mean? They can't keep up with him, and he has a very good route tree, very decent route tree. So I just can't wait to see what him and Jalen Hurts can do. But how are you defending the offense of the Philadelphia Eagles? Saquon Barkley still a threat in the backfield. I like a lot of the guys in the running back room, man. Will Shipley, even Kenny Gainwell's coming on. I think I spoke about that in my last video, which is not really a surprise because I know they utilized Kenny G a lot last year, a lot over Swift, which I really did want to see them utilize Swift because I thought he had the way we were thinking about Saquon is the way I thought about Dre Swift before we acquired him, because I'm like, bro, he fits the offense. Y'all want to pass the ball, you can pass the ball to him, and they didn't really use him like that. So it is what it is. Wish him the best over there with the Bears, but yeah, man, it's just good to see, man. Things are starting to come together. I know and I think this also is a reaction from, if you didn't know, Justin Simmons going to the Falcons. It is what it is. I think I know some information that came out. I think I was watching Josh Davis. He had Andrew Jacheco on there, and he was saying that he had some information that the relationship wasn't too, didn't end on a good note with him and Vic Fangio. So Justin Simmons and Vic Fangio, yeah. So he ended up signing for like $6 or $8 million with the Falcons, which I thought, he could have came here and got that, but it is what it is. And then we ended up getting Stearns, which is, still, you got to play that by ear because he's coming off of an injury and he didn't even pass the physical down there with the Panthers. So you just want to make sure that, he's coming along. Maybe he's just, well, we know he's deaf clearly, but maybe he's deaf for later on down the line in the season. We some players get banged up, he can come in for those guys. But yeah, man, it's just some good things that we're seeing, man. Like I said, I'll be watching the game tomorrow. I probably won't go live because I get too crazy, man. I do appreciate everybody that was with me last week. I was in here doing the Baltimore game and things like that, but I ended up deleting the video by accident, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, man, this season's gearing up to be one of the best seasons, one of the best teams constructed by the Eagles, by Howie Roseman. Like I said, I don't know how this man keep getting away with this, but it's no excuses now, man. I just seen the clip with A.J. Brown. He was sitting here talking about, he want to win for the city, man. He said it's no other city or stadium that you go to where like a home game is packed. You seen the public practice? They had like 50 to 60,000 people there, man. I'd have been there if I ain't had to work. So, it's good to see, man, that these guys are finally embracing, the city. I ain't saying they weren't embracing it before, but they really are embracing it now because you got to think this is his second deal, and I'm talking about AJ, but his second deal here with us. He's still a younger guy. Smitty got signed to a long-term deal. Hurts a long-term deal. So, a lot of these guys are locked up for these next 3 to 4 years, man, and hopefully they can make some noise these next few years. But I really do think, like, barring injury, this team is like, I don't want to say like untouchable because you could always lose, but it's going to be very, very hard to defend this team and then to beat this team, especially with the addition of Dotson. Like, that's just still crazy to me because now you can stretch the field even more. You can't really guard wide receivers like you used to be able to back in the day. So, you know, the hip drop tackle, all that stuff's done with. So it's like you won't really have to tackle. And how many people out here got enough guys that can, you know, shut down one of our guys, so one of our top guys. But it's going to be very, very nice to see. I think we got about 18 to 20 days, something like that, like 18, 15, something, so many days to the opening to the Brazil game. So, excuse me. So it's some time to, you know, for Jalen Hurts and to get Dotson into this offense, you know, learn what he need to learn. But it's going to be, it's going to be a very beautiful season, man. Like I said, I took the Super Bowl bet early. Like, I took the Super Bowl bet before we even got Saquon. So you already know how I was feeling about my team, man. I already knew it was redemption season, but it's like everybody got a chip on their shoulder, from the players up to the GM. Everybody got a chip on their shoulder. So we gonna see, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see, man. It's about to get crazy. Like, I'm getting excited all over again, man. But I'm gonna wrap this up, man. I might make a video tomorrow just recapping the game, you know, talking about some things I've seen. But it's a lot of things. And before I get out of here, it's a lot of things I do want to see. Like I said, a lot of the rookies. Hopefully, like I said, Anaz Smith has a good game. Johnny Wilson's out with a concussion, so I don't expect to see nothing from him. But the tight end position too, that's another position that we need to really, really, you know, hone in on, because both Grant Calcaterra is hurt, as well as Dallas. So it's not, we don't need that, man. Offensive linemen getting banged up, so it's some players that we gotta look at. We gotta look at, you know, coming from those further back, the depth positions. So it might be a time for them where they might have to step up later on in the season, and we're going to need that, man. So we got to make sure that they're ready too. So it's just not, you know, are the starters ready? We got to make sure that the guys behind the starters are ready as well. So that's going to be some things that I'm looking for tomorrow. Safety position is another thing I'm looking at. Bradbury, still don't know what's going on with him. I think he's going to make the team, but you never know, man. It is what it is. I do got love for Bradbury, but at the same time, I seen him whiff that tackle in the preseason game. But things happen. I know he learned in a new position too, but tackling, man, it'd be rough for my boy. So, but like I said, man, I'll make a video tomorrow getting on here, talking about what I seen in the game. But with that being said, man, if you're liking what you hear, please, you know, like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe. Really do appreciate everybody that views the videos, likes the videos, shares the videos. So with that being said, man, it's Nine from No Cut Sports Podcast. Really do appreciate y'all tuning in. And if you already don't know, go Birds, baby. I'm a holla at you.